This major gravel pass will enthrall and enchant even the most jaded pass hunter. It's long and rough and peppered with 301 bends, corners and curves, of which 7 are hairpins and another 29 exceed 90 degrees radius. It achieves top 10 status in 2 categories as the 5th longest pass and the 7th biggest altitude gaining pass in South Africa. It connects Tabankulu with the R61 between Flagstaff and Lusikisiki and provides access to dozens of villages along the way and includes a crossing of the powerful Mzintlava River, now famous for its Mamlambo creature or brain sucker as it became known in the press. We issue our standard cautionary for all Eastern Cape rural roads and especially those in the old Transkei area. We recommend driving this road in a small convoy of 2 to 3 vehicles in case of an emergency. Be aware of your personal safety at all times and make sure you leave the nearest town with full fuel tanks and that your vehicle is reliable and serviced. Starting in the north at the town of Tabankulu, continue heading south through the village, and as you exit it, there's a prominent fork. Make sure you keep left and continue driving for 4 kilometers as the road skirts a deep ravine on the right. We strongly recommend tire deflation at least down to 1.4 bar, which will greatly improve traction and therefore your safety, as well as provide a more comfortable ride and reduce the risk of picking up a puncture. It's not advisable to drive this route if you're in a hurry. Besides the road condition, which can vary greatly depending on recent rainfall, over the next 38 kilometers the route traverses a number of villages. Be particularly careful of school children before, during and after each village. Sheep, cows and goats can appear suddenly in front of your vehicle, as you will see on several occasions in this video series. Right near the start of the pass, this beautiful view greets you on the left-hand side. These high-altitude grasslands provide particularly good grazing for cattle, and if your drive coincides with the end of the summer season, you'll see just how healthy the cattle actually are here. For those interested in birding, have your binoculars and your books at hand, as the bird life here is excellent. For the first few kilometers of this mega pass, things appear to be easy and comfortable as the road descends gently down the side of a wide valley, offering lovely views on the right. But at the 3.6 kilometer mark, the road swings abruptly into the east via a 90-degree bend as the nose of the Tabankulu mountain, with an altitude of 1,591.7 meters, is skirted, and then within 400 meters, another 90-degree left-hand bend takes the heading directly into the north. There are hundreds of blind corners throughout this pass. Many of the local vehicles are old, and the drivers tend to drive very slowly. They'll also often appear completely on the wrong side of the road in their efforts to find the smoothest part of the roadway. Throughout this series, we'll tell you about the history of the region, which will add insight and perspective as you proceed on your journey. Originally, the Transkei included the territories of Iduchwa Reserve, Fingoland and Galeka Land. The alienation of Xhosa ancestral lands began during the 1770s when the Dutch annexed the border areas between the Gamkoes and the Bushmans rivers and began a gradual process of agrarian settlement that misrepresented indigenous concepts of land ownership. These incursions began to take on a more military aspect after the British annexation of the Cape Colony in 1806. After the annexation, the eastern frontier of the Cape became the arena for a series of increasingly bitter land wars. In 1811 and 1812, the British expelled the Xhosa people from the Zeeveld and annexed it to the Cape as the district of Albany. Following further clashes in 1818 and 1819, a highly contentious meeting was held on the 14th of October 1819 between the Cape Governor Lord Charles Somerset and Ngika, paramount chief of the Amararab. They concluded a verbal treaty which left the Xhosa no alternative but to yield the fertile region between the Great Fish and Keiskamma rivers. Initially, this was known as the Neutral Territory, but in time it began to be referred to as the Ceded Territory and was settled by European farmers and their Khoikhoi allies. On the day of filming in February 2020, we found the road condition to be generally quite good. From this lofty vantage point, you'll get excellent views on the right over the Chumi River Valley, whilst the dense forests of the Tabankulu Forest Reserve smother the southern slope of the mountain ahead. At the 5 kilometre mark, the road enters the forest canopy and levels off for the next 2.7 kilometres, where you'll be completely immersed within the forest canopy, where birdsong and tumbling streams are the surround sound if you drive with your windows open. Be sure to watch parts 2 through 7 of the Mzintlava Pass.